Good afternoon, everyone. It is a rainy day here in the Netherlands, and well, even though the sun is right up a little bit peeking through, it is a perfect day to do some writing. And that means that it is Friday, or rather, it doesn't mean that it is Friday. Today is Friday, and we just have a couple of days left in the National Novel Writing Month, or rather, the International Novel Writing Month. And I have to be honest, I haven't written in the last few days because, well, I was way too exhausted from work. Um, but that's okay. Today I'm doing pretty well. So I will do probably two writing sprints today because I have other obligations to attend to this evening. So I only really have 2 hours, sort of, for this afternoon for our live writing sessions. But that's okay. Um, in the coming days, I might do several surprise live writing sprints because I want to help you guys get through NaNoWriMo these last days and reach your goal, whatever goal you set. For those who don't know me, my name is Ilse. I am a magical wielding dragon companion and creator of worlds. And hi, Fedina! Welcome back. Yeah, I missed you in our sprints as well. It's great to have you back, and I hope everything goes all right. Um, so, like I said, we will do a few writing sprints because I have some obligations tonight. So I have about 2 hours, 2 hours, and then I really have to go. Um, but yeah, in those 2 hours we will be writing, and I promised my community that I would share some news about Tergaenae, about the things that I discovered. So I will do that after our first writing sprint. So let's check in with all things NaNoWriMo. Like I said, um, I am way behind on my goal of 50,000 words. At the moment, I am just shy over 10,000. So I have a lot of writing to do in the coming week until November, or rather until December the 1st. But that's okay. So maybe I'll do a few surprise live writing sprints because today, or rather this afternoon, officially my holiday started. I have a week-long holiday. That is something I always do um, during NaNoWriMo. I take the last week, sometimes the last 2 weeks off from work so that I can concentrate on NaNoWriMo, on writing in my novel, or world building, or whatever I had planned to do during NaNoWriMo. And in this case, it's not, still not writing again in my main novel, but I'm still working on Nasya and Nejat's story. And in this case, I am sort of working in my main novel in the series because currently I am working on a scene that might become a chapter um, in a later book. This will probably be, I don't know, book two, book three. I'll have to check. I don't know yet. I think it will be book three. But certain things happen in this chapter. I discovered that I need more information for, and I hope to get that information in the background story. It is something that how shall I say that? It is something that came to mind that I discovered, and it is something I think I will have in the novel in the main series later on. Um, Perhaps not exactly in the way that I'm writing it at the moment, but that's okay. Um, but I will have to dig in deeper into a little bit, or a little world building I might do later on, and some things that will have to become clear from the background story. So again, I need to write this chapter now instead of working on the background story, which I need for my main story. So it's a kind of circle, but it's okay if it makes any sense. At least it sort of makes sense to me. Um, so that is where I stand at the moment. Um, I have discovered several things in my background story and in the world building elements that came from that background story that are, or can be at least, interesting. Um, they can make for fun scenes. They can make for um, some contrast, some how shall I say that? Perhaps even some tiny conflicts, or rather large conflicts. I mean, that can happen as well. I don't know. Um, I'll have to see how that goes, but it will be fun nonetheless. Um, so that is where I stand at the moment with my story, and normally I write rather chronological because that is how my mind works. But with Nasya and Nejat, I find that I'm writing the background story and I'm doing world building and I'm working on character development and or rather discovering more about their character, and I'm suddenly writing um, a chapter or a scene or scene to become a chapter in book two or book three, and yeah, this process of their story, that's new to me. Let me put it that way. It's not something that I have experienced in the past because, like I said, normally I'm a chronological writer, and it does happen that there are some pieces that I might write, um, but not like I have done now. But that's okay. Apparently, right now, this is the way I need to write, and that's okay. I mean, if that makes my story better, if that gives me the world building that I need, or that my story needs, I should say it that way, and if that gives the information about the characters and about what happened in the past and the details that I need from what happened in the past, if that if this for me weird process brings that all about, then I am perfectly okay with that. It is something I'll probably have to get used to, especially when while I'm still working on their story. And once I get to the main story, I hope that things progress more natural for me. But on the other hand, um, like I said earlier, I was exhausted from work, and that is because I'm still suffering from COVID, or rather long COVID. And I have noticed that COVID has really messed with my body, and I don't know, maybe it also messed with my brains in the way they function and how my thought process now goes, at least as far as it comes to writing. I have no idea if COVID does anything with that, or if this is just a thing, a process that is just happening right now because I am writing on that background. I'm working on that background story of them. I have no idea, but that's okay. I'm just going with the flow, and that is something that I can advise everyone. Even if you have an outline, I mean, I have an outline for my main storyline. Don't get me wrong, and I am used to working with an outline. Well, my version of an outline. not the very detailed outlines I know some other authors work with, because I'm not someone for detailed outlines. Really, I'm not. But I do use outlines. So my main story has an outline, and I'm still adjusting it with bringing in Nasya and Nejat at certain points. Some other characters that came to be, and that need to be there as well in the main storyline. Um, so that is still a work in progress, especially because my first main book was already for the greater part written, and storyline was finished for that, or the outline I should say was finished for that book. So, and for the second book I had written, I think at least half the outline. So this is new for me, but even though it is a new process for me, I'm going with the flow, because I experience that it is my experience that it at this moment it works for me. And that is what I can advise everyone. If your writing process changes, even if it is against everything you're used to, keep going with the flow if that works at that moment for you. Because if you are, at least that is my experience, if you are forcing yourself to go back to the earlier process that worked for you in the past, um, but for some reason doesn't work right now, then it might start to work against you. So I noticed that it's getting really dark here. So let me just switch on an extra light. My apologies. Yes, that's better. Ooh, and oh, guys, did you? Okay, you heard me. I just noticed I did not have my mic on, but luckily it registered, so that's good. Fidina, you say totally adapt to the change. Exactly, adapt to the change. And not only adapt, but embrace the change, because it can bring you so much. Um, it can help you in so many ways. I mean, for me right now, deciding not to first write an outline for this background story, because I had no idea these two characters were, for me, a total surprise. So I didn't write an outline simply because I had no idea what I was going to write about. Um, I mean, originally I thought, you know what, I'll just write a few pages for the background story, and that will be enough, and then I'll know what to do and what to include in my main books. And well, those few pages became about 30,000 words at the moment. So yeah, I'm slowly writing a novel just for the background story. So you know what? If that happens, it happens. And I'm just going with the flow for that, because at the moment it works, and I need this information and I need those details um, to be able to include them in the main books. So indeed, like Fadina says, adapt to the change, embrace the change, and work with it, and um, just go back to your normal writing process. If your current writing process doesn't deliver anymore, then you can go back to your former writing process and work with that again if that works for you. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about writing processes, um, and about my last week, because it was a terrible week for me. But that brings me to my writing prompt for you guys for the first writing sprint, because I'd like to start that because we're on a quite tight schedule. My first writing prompt for you guys
for the first writing sprint and just see what you do with it is the following. Your character comes home utterly exhausted. I don't know if she's been to work or has done some grocery shopping or whatever. Anyways, she comes home exhausted. And she has been exhausted for, well, let's say the better part of a week. Why is she exhausted? What happened? How is she going to solve that? How is she dealing with it? I mean, is she in denial? Is she embracing the exhaustion? Is she just going to bed? I don't know. What does she do with that exhaustion? And how do the people around her react to her exhaustion? Is it something that they are used to? Is it something that makes them concerned about what's going on and how things are for her? So think about those things and see if you can work with that in your first writing sprint. So without further ado, I want to. Oh, first I need to start the clock. I always forget to start to check my clock. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I really, literally, always forget the clock. So, I have it with me right now. And yes, here it is. Without further ado, with that writing prompt in mind, see if you can use it. I wish you all happy writing, may the story flow, and may your characters reveal their intentions, or maybe hide their intentions. I wish you happy writing. Hi, Evelina. I see you're jumping back and forth to your YouTube playlist as usual. Excellent. I'll see you in a break. Hi, Jess. It's great to see you join as well. We just started our first writing sprint with a writing prompt And in case you hadn't heard it yet, the writing prompt is as follows. Your character comes home exhausted and has been exhausted for several days already. And why is she exhausted? What is the cause of it? And how does she deal with it? And how does her do the people around her deal with it and respond to it? So happy writing. It's another 22 minutes. I wish you a lot of fun, and we'll catch up about Nano and other things after the first writing sprint. And that is the end of our first sprint. How did you guys do? I managed to write 527 words, which is okay for our first writing sprint. There were some things that I needed to think about how I wanted to write it. Things that didn't come easy, but in the end I managed to write it, so I'm happy with the result. There's not so much I can tell you guys because this is a chapter that will be in the main books. In one of the main books, I should say. So I don't want to spoil it right now because there is still a lot that I need to work through before this chapter happens, and there is still a lot of history that needs to be formed. So that is why I can't tell you about this chapter yet. I might do that in the future when I write this book. I need to. Let's see. Yes, there we are again. So I will see about that in the future. Jess, you're trying to reorganize a little. You're trying to decide what order you want your chapters in. Yeah, that's always a fun challenge, I imagine, if you do not write chronologically. Like I said, I'm used to writing chronologically, and even in this case, I know this chapter is going to be in a certain book, and several things have happened before that, before this chapter happens. So in a way, even though I am writing it completely outside of anything I've written so far, I sort of know where it is supposed to be, and I think that helps for me. But I can imagine that if you do not write chronologically, that once you've written a chapter, that then you need to figure out where the chapter is best at its place. So good luck with that. And of course, if you'd like any thoughts, any sparring about that, I'm happy to help. Like I promised, I would tell you guys something about a little bit of world building that I discovered in this last week. Because although I haven't been, well, technically I haven't been writing in the background story. I haven't been putting words on my digital paper for either the background story or the main story. I did do some world building, or rather, it came to me. It's something I discovered. I told you guys about the wolf shapeshifter, and I wasn't quite sure how that came to be and why it is a wolf and what exactly is the shapeshifter. Well, this week I discovered that the shapeshifter is actually a gift from the deities, or rather the shape shifting, I should say. It is a gift from the deities. They give people, young adults and adults who have died way before their tapestry of life should end, they give them the chance to, in a way, come back to life, and it is specifically the people, the young adults and adults from the wolf tribe. The wolf tribe is a tribe that lives in cohabitation with wolves, and they have a very good relationship with the wolves. And the deities of life, for the moment I've called them that. I'm not exactly sure what else I'm going to call them. I might just keep it at that. Anyways, the deities of life give those people from that tribe, the people who die way too soon, way before their tapestry of life should end, they give them the option to return to Tergaenae as a shape-shifting wolf. There are a few limitations. One is they cannot go back to their family and friends in their previous form, in their human form, let me put it that way. So the deities made sure that they wouldn't, and by, or I should say by, not and, by putting a, I don't know how to call it, not a shield, but something that triggers the shape shifting forcibly the moment that one of those people would come close to the wolf tribe. And that means that even if they rather wouldn't, they still will shapeshift to a wolf. Other times they can just choose themselves. This is to protect both the shapeshifters and the tribe themselves, because if the people of the tribe who are still alive, so the family and friends of the shapeshifters, would see a shapeshifting wolf, or rather would see the person they miss the most, and see that he or she is alive in a way, they might get scared. They might, I don't know, do all kinds of things because they didn't expect that person to be alive, because they buried that person. They might have burned the person, cremated the person, I should say. So depending on the way they said goodbye to the person, it might be really, they might feel like it is a figment of their imagination, and they might feel like they were going crazy. So that is something that the deities want to prevent. So the shapeshifting is forced when the deceased people come close to the wolf tribe people. And but their gift in a way is that as a wolf they can still go to the wolf tribe. So they can visit their family and friends, and be there for them. My apologies, I have some itching in my nose. They can be there for them in another form, and even though their family and friends don't know that the wolf they face is actually that deceased person, they can still feel that they are being supported in some way. So that is the gift from the deities. So, okay, we force you to shapeshift, but you can still visit your family and friends. So you can still be there for them. Now, why do the deities give them that chance? Because it is a chance they get, and they can say no. They can choose not to become a shapeshifter and go into the light of the goddess. The deities need, want, I should say, protectors for the little creatures, like the flutter nymph, like the small folk, like other small or tiny creatures, not insects, and that's it's the sentient beings, the sentient creatures, who really form also relationships with people, with like people like Nejat and the other dragon companions. It's the tiny creatures. I mean, they don't need to protect other wolves or other prey, or predators. I mean, and they don't need to protect those creatures from natural things. like predators, because that is just part of life, that is part of natural life. But they need to protect those small, tiny creatures from evildoers, like the outsiders that Nejat and his other dragon companions have now faced, and are now rescuing further the Flutter-nymphs. The question also, of course, comes to mind. So why were those Flutter-nymphs, that clan that Nejat and the other dragon companions now are rescuing, why didn't they have a protector? Well, their protector was out for other things. Was out with a little group of the Flutter-nymphs, of the Flutter-nymph clan. So, and they were supposed to go somewhere else, rather far away, and they were, let's say, they were on a mission. So that was the problem. And this one particular wolf, this shapeshifter wolf that Nejat met, is a shapeshifter in training, in the training phase. And in the training phase, they get to know basically all kinds of small creatures, like the Flutter-nymph, like the small folk, and they will get to see with which creatures they have the best affinity. And when they know with which creature they have the best affinity, that is when they will be assigned to a certain group of that creature species. So in this case, this particular wolf shapeshifter was sort of in the neighborhood. He was getting to know the small folk, getting to know the Flutter-nymphs, and seeing how they work and how he feels about them, and that is why he was there. And I can tell you, at least this is all just to make sure this is all approved by the Tergaenae High Council. So they have approved of me telling you all about this. I mean, I'm quite lucky about that, because this is, I mean, the wolf tribe themselves don't even know about it, but I have been given permission to tell you guys about it. So lips tight, do not tell anyone else about it, because I'd rather not get into any trouble about it with the Tergaenae High Council. At the same time, I mean, they did give me permission. I mean, I cannot control what you guys do with it. But yeah, so they did give me permission to tell you guys about this. And seeing that it is not widely known information, it's awesome that I can tell you guys about this. So that is how this wolf shapeshifter ended up with the Flutter-nymphs, and also why it came running from that forest, from the ancient forest, and why in the end it wanted to stay around Nejat, because Nejat and the other dragon companions offer safety. Not only safety in numbers, but also safety because of what they are. He will not reveal himself yet, maybe? At least not in the background story. He will not reveal himself to Nejat or any of the dragon companions. He might, just might, do that in the future, but there might also be consequences of that. So he will have to think about that very well before he exposes himself as a wolf shapeshifter. or rather as a wolf shapeshifter from the wolf tribe. And exactly the reason why they are shapeshifters, because it is known to a certain extent. Those people who work a lot with creatures, like one of Nejat's team members, um, they may have met wolf shapeshifters, and in this case, Nejat's team member has met wolf shapeshifters because there was a small clan of shapeshifters living near where he lived. He is not from the wolf tribe, but in some cases, because wolves um, are creatures that live in packs, they are pack creatures, and shapeshifters, wolf shifters, are also pack creatures. They are from the wolf tribe, and the wolf tribe, just to give you an idea, it is kind of like the dragon companions. There is one sort of umbrella wolf tribe, and several continents have wolf tribes that all are related to that one wolf tribe on the main continent, where Dragon City is and where the White City is. So that is how it works, and that is also how other people can know about shapeshifters, about wolf shifters. And because they are pack creatures, they also try to come together every once in a while. I mean, they start to see the creatures they protect as their own pack, but of course they also want contact and want bonds with other wolf shifters. And so that might be a reason that they will seek each other out and form a family of wolf shifters. So the team member of Nejat, who knew about wolf shifters, has a pack of wolf shifters living close to his home, to his old home, where his family lives, where his parents live. So he does know there are wolf shifters, but he doesn't know exactly why they are wolf shifters and how that works, and what they do precisely. So yeah, that is what I have discovered about the wolf shifters right now. There is more that I have discovered about this particular wolf shifter that will play out also in this later book 2 or 3, probably book 3. So I cannot tell you anything about that right now. I can tell you that this particular wolf shifter has an affinity to flutter nymphs. He really likes them, even though they are very fast, usually when they are not trapped in any way. Flutter nymphs are really really fast, so he can't always keep up with them. But he also likes their social community and their family relations. He feels at home with them because they feel like a pack to them. So I think it's safe to say that we will see him living with flutter nymphs in the future. Because they feel like a pack to him, and he is a very social wolf shifter. And when he was still alive, he was also, well, I won't say a partier, but he was someone who could make how shall I say that? How should I say that? He's the one who can make people smile. He's the one who can live up an how do you say that? Lit up an entire room, light up an entire room. So yeah, he really brings in a special. I don't know, a special whatever you want to call it around him. And that really resonates with the Flutter-nymphs, and the Flutter-nymphs in return also really like him. So I really expect him to live with them for I don't know how long, until his mission ends, I guess, and I have no idea how long that is. That is information I do not know. But it's yeah, it's fun, and it's fun when you discover things like that, because I always think that world building and writing go hand in hand. They don't need to be. You do not need to finish your world building before you can go writing. I mean, people who say that, let's just say I don't agree with them. That's to say the least. I really do not agree with them. It is my experience that world building and writing really go hand in hand, and that's the fun part of it. And I see that now in with this background story, and with the Tergaenae Chronicles. There are still a lot of things I do not know yet, but I discover them along the way, and if needed, I will write a whole piece about it, or if it just comes to mind, like with those wolf shifters. I mean, it's this tiny bit of information that is needed in the story. It's not like I need whole chapters about it. Absolutely not, because it's really just a tiny bit of information that the story needs, and the characters need a bit of information, but they don't need all the ins and outs about how the wolf shifters came to be, and why exactly they are a wolf shifter. What the reasons are, and what the reasons are they got the chance, or this particular shifter got the chance. That doesn't matter. What matters is that they have enough information to be able to make the decision on how to progress, I should say. And it is just a little tiny information for the whole story, and that the whole story doesn't need an entire book about wolf shifters. So the way I feel it, right now, is that I know enough about wolf shifters, and I probably will not write a lot more about them. I might if something else came to mind, but at the moment, I think I know enough. And of course, if people have questions about the wolf shifters, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer them, and it might even spark some more world building inspiration, world building creativity, and it might even spark something for my story. But at the moment, I do not know anything more to tell you guys about wolf shifters, other than, yeah, I like them. It's different. I mean, it's not werewolves. It's not the wolf shifters like in Twilight. That was, yeah. I don't know. I never felt really satisfied with that story. Somehow, I mean, it was a good story, but at the same time, I wasn't quite satisfied with it. And the werewolves, I mean, why only during a full moon? That's one of the things I have with that. It's one of the things I never understood. But okay, that's folklore, I think, and it's one of those myths. I guess there has to be a reason for it. Same goes for vampires. I mean, okay, in Twilight there are shiny vampires. Okay, then I can. It's different. um, in Tergaenae, as far as I know, at the moment, there are no vampires. The wolf shifters are no werewolves. They, yes, they can hurt people when they protect their proteges, but it won't turn the other person into a wolf shifter, because that is not how it works. It is really a gift from the deities, from the deities of life. So it works completely different. I have not figured out yet if these wolf shifters mate and if they can get children. I have no idea. I mean, those are young adults and adults who have lost their lives, and I don't know. I mean, they are family creatures, so why wouldn't they have families? Well, it might be kind of weird, I think, if they were to have their own children. I mean, those children wouldn't be. Would they be wolf shifters? Technically, if it is a gift from the deities of life, then the children shouldn't be wolf shifters. So yeah, I haven't figured that one out yet. That's information I do not have yet. It's also information I do not know if I even need it. So that is one of those things of world building that sometimes you have questions that just pop up, like, okay, I haven't thought about that yet, or I don't have the answer to that yet. But do you need the answer? There is a difference between, do you need the answer for your story and for your characters to be able to progress, or is it an answer you need because you want to know and your story doesn't need it at all? I expect in this case, I expect right now that my story doesn't need that answer. I might develop it anyway. I might discover it anyway at some point in the future, because that is how my brain works. I mean, I might be, hell, I don't know, I might be half asleep and then come up with an answer and lay awake half of the night until I've written the answer down, because that is also how my brain works. I mean, I can be tired as hell, almost asleep, and just before I really fall asleep, I get the answer. And of course, then I have to write it down, because otherwise I might forget the answer, and that wouldn't be helpful. So I write it down, and I keep on writing until I finished what I wanted to write and what I wanted to jot down, and then it's an hour later or 2 hours later. Yeah, that's also how my brain works. It's something I cannot completely help. Luckily, with my COVID experience, in a way that's lucky, I think. It's not so much that I lie awake for an hour or two jotting down all my ideas, because I will simply be just too exhausted when I go to sleep. And I'll just if I get an idea, I will just jot down some keywords and continue, go to sleep, and that's it. And hopefully in the morning I will know what on earth I was thinking the other night. So yeah, that is how world building can work for people. I mean, I do not usually sit down and say, okay, now I need to figure out, I don't know, what's up with the wolf shifters. That doesn't work for me in a way. I often get a sudden inspiration because of a news article I read, or because of something I saw in my Google feed, or something I saw in my YouTube feed, or I don't know, any other notification that might just trigger it like that. Um, it can work in really weird ways sometimes. Um, but yeah, that's the fun part of it. And it is, how shall I say that? Sure, I have steps I take to get into world building. And before I thought of the world of Tergaenae, I really did some steps first to decide how I wanted to do things. But the more I get deeper into the world building, the more it is also based on inspiration, on questions I have, and not so much on sitting down and working an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours on world building. Because for me, world building also sorry, I thought my phone was ringing. For me, world building also highly depends on especially I should say especially the deeper world building, the nitty gritty as I call it, the tiny details, especially that doesn't work for me to sit down for hours. Hi Melissa, thank you for joining. You're so late. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. It's great that you're joining. I hope you are doing well. I understand that you had a very nice Thanksgiving, so that's great to hear. We were just talking about world building and how that works for me, and also I don't know. I think you were there when I talked about the wolf shifters. That is something I discovered last week, or more information about them. And your Thanksgiving was lovely. Excellent, excellent. And you are right, it's been so long since we've seen you. But it's great to have you back, and I'm glad that you can join. Like I told earlier in the stream, I really need to have a tight schedule on this one, because I have other obligations this night, this evening. So we will go on for a little over half an hour, and then I really need to cut it short. And Melissa, you say yes, world building is very interesting. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I posted about it last week in the Discord server. Yeah, that's right. There is so much that we can. The world building is such a vast subject, and like I said, there is the nitty gritty. But I started sort of on the top. I have this. Let me show you guys. Yes, I have these. It's a kind of matryoshka doll where you can pull them out one by one. The way I see world building is you have this one doll, and this one big doll can be your whole world, but you can also have, is this the littlest one? No, there's even a tiny one. Yes, this is the littlest one. You can also have, compared to your world, you can have this tiny detail that you need information about. and you just build that, and that's the fun part. It's all fits together in one way or another, and sometimes when you have that littlest doll, you find that you need more information about it. You find that you need to give it a proper place inside a bigger whole, inside the bigger picture of that part of the world. And in other cases, you just only need that little piece. Melissa, you say, oddly enough, it's still Thanksgiving break here for you guys, so you just woke up and jumped on. You think you might have been pretty tired from the busy couple of weeks we've had. I can imagine that, especially with what you described, with everything you do for Thanksgiving. I mean, that's so much. That's so much. It almost sounds like Christmas. I mean, Christmas is a month away, and you guys do it again. Or is Christmas a different kind of holiday with just all the presents and some easy dinner and stuff like that? Matrushka, yeah, it's I mean, this was sorta a cat, but it's the old. I think they are old Russian dolls, where you can keep pulling them apart, and every time you reveal another doll inside the doll, until you have the littlest doll. As a child, I had one, and I remember that the littlest doll. I mean, here I can even pull apart the littlest one. As a child, the littlest one, it was probably this format, maybe even smaller, but that was massive. That was I couldn't pull it apart. I couldn't put anything in it. It was just it was a wooden little thing. Don't ask me behind for the history behind the Matryoshka dolls. I have no idea. I haven't gotten into that yet. I just know that as a child I had this doll, and I really liked it, and it is how I see the process of world building. Sometimes you just need that little doll, and sometimes you need a bigger picture. Melissa, you do some other things for Christmas without a huge meal. You make cookies, decorate a tree, see some lights on the houses, and in the park unwrap presents, drink hot cocoa, and wear matching pajamas, etc. Well, that still sounds like a lot. I mean, here we also decorate the tree, cookies, that and other baking. That really depends on what you're used to and what you like. Here in the Netherlands, and I think in parts of Germany and in Belgium, we have Sinterklaas. And Sinterklaas was a saint. Originally, he was Saint Nicholas. He was a saint. He was actually a saint, and he handed out presents to the children of poor families. Now, well, that has changed a lot during the ages and during the centuries. And here we have Sinterklaas, and he is kind of like Saint Nick, Santa Claus, and we hand out presents during Sinterklaas, which is on the 5th of December. Nowadays we have Sinterklaas, and we also have Christmas presents, so it's kind of both. But when you have little children in your family, you usually mainly have presents at Sinterklaas, and then at Christmas we have people go to the mass, go to the church if they believe that, if they want to go there, and they will have a meal together. They might have, I think if I recall it correctly, I kind of should have, but it's been a long time. I think, if I remember it correctly, on the 24th, because that's my dad's birthday, on the 24th there is the night mass in church. And when you come back from that, then I think, yeah, I think that it's that night. Then you come back from church and you have something little to eat, some bread or whatever, and then you go to bed, and then you have Christmas morning. And on Christmas morning, in the past we didn't have Christmas presents. That's really something of, I think, the last 30 years or so. Yeah, the last 30 years. And then you might go to church again on your first Christmas day, and that's it. And here in the Netherlands, we have also a second day of Christmas, where we also have a holiday. So that's fun. And we usually spend it with family or friends, just how things work out. We have meals together. We might go for long walks, things like that. So that's all fun. Melissa, all right, and we decorate the trees, we decorate the house, and there are people who will decorate their house like the house is a Christmas tree. I mean, it's lit everywhere, and I mean, it's fun to see, but I think those people really have a huge energy bill, but that's up to them. And inside the house, I mean, people will put all kinds of Christmas decorations besides the Christmas tree, so that's also fun. In my case, we yearly we do oftentimes we have gourmet. Gourmet is where you sit on a table and you have a, God, how do I call that? You have plates. Yeah, you have hot plates on the table where you make your own foods and your own where you cook your own meat and vegetables, etc., etc. And it's kind of like a hot pot, but then on only the grill part, sorta, if that makes sense. Might not make sense, but anyways. So that is very very traditional, but also something like a rabbit or other game on the table, and we play games. That also happens. So yeah, it differs per family what the traditions are. And Melissa, checking back with you, all the holidays with you are pretty intense here. It makes up for the bleak architecture. Okay. I've been in the USA, but I've only been in California, and we went to Death Valley and the Grand Canyon. I think that was about it. We might have done a piece of Arizona or something. I don't know. It was something there. So it was fun, but yeah, architecture in the States is quite different from European architecture. I agree with that. And you also say, oh yes, they have midnight mass and a small meal for Christmas Eve. Yes, exactly. That is what we have here as well. And you decorate your house like a Christmas tree as well. Huge holiday people, and the kids love it. Well, that's excellent. And it's not for me, but I always liked it. I always like it when people do that, and especially when they have a certain theme, or I don't know. Sometimes people just, I don't know, decorate for the sake of it. If you get my point. But I mean, there are also people who really think about it, and those are the truly beautiful decorated houses, and I like those. Oh, you even have holiday dishes. Oh, really? Ah, that's I don't have that. I do have I mean, I will place candles on the table and special tablecloth, but I don't know. I don't have holiday dishes. No, I don't. I don't do that. The Grand Canyon is beautiful. Yes, exactly. It's so impressive. We have one regret when we went there. We were too late to be on that glass bridge to go there and to have that view. I still want to go back there someday and go to that bridge, that glass bridge, and see how that is, and then have that experience. It's so beautiful. Um, and also, guys, if you'd like to get ideas for world building, check out places like Grand Canyon. Check out photos. Check out videos on YouTube. You don't need the high resolution videos, the 4K or 8K videos for that. You just look up videos of the Grand Canyon, of the Chaoji Mountains in China that were the inspiration for the Hallelujah Mountains in Avatar. There are so many beautiful places, natural places that you can use as inspiration. Pardon me, that you can use as inspiration for your world building. It's incredible. Um, And Melissa, you say architecture in the States is bland compared to almost anywhere you've been in Western Europe. Okay, thank you on behalf of all the Europeans. Well, it's yeah, but Europe is also, or rather, town building, city building in Europe is of course way older than it is in the United States. I mean, the indigenous people in the United States lived completely different from how Europeans lived in the past. And I think Europeans centuries ago started building cities way earlier, and architecture grew with that. I guess it works differently. But if I look at also Southern America, I mean, you have Mount Picchu. I don't know, in Mexico, and other famous places as well. Also, those things can be excellent for world building inspiration. By the way, and Melissa, you say there's a hike you can do and a white water, yeah, rapids experience you can see videos of as well. Yeah, it's incredidible. Okay, so speaking about world building and writing prompts, and then we will do the last writing prompt of today, because I see it's already 4:30, and I really need to cut it short at in about half an hour. So writing prompt of today. Your writing prompt for this writing sprint, I should say. Your character suddenly arrives at a cliff. I don't care how she arrives there. Describe it. Your character arrives at the edge of a cliff, and how does she deal with it? What happened? Why did she end up there? Is she just balancing, and can she keep herself from falling over the cliff? Falling over the edge, or is she lying on the edge to see what is down there? And I remember I did that once. Well, not in the mountains, but at the quay of a harbor, and the water was, I think, 5 meters. That's not feet, 5 meters down. So my mother was really, really anxious to get us from the edge, and my brother and I were just having fun. We loved looking at it. So yeah. Use that writing prompt and see what your character does with that. How does she feel about being at the edge of such a cliff? I mean, it's not a cliff of 1 meter. It's really a deep cliff, a deep ravine. How did she end up there? how does she feel about being at that age? Um, what's the weather like? What do people around her feel about it? Are there people around her? All kinds of things. Think about it and see if you can write about it. And Melissa, you say so sorry for the changes. No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I let myself get distracted about all the world building. I do that myself because I just love talking about world building. Um, so, Jess, oh, you're definitely using this prompt. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad I could give you a writing prompt for this writing sprint. Okay, so last writing sprint of today, and then I have other obligations to go to. I wish you happy writing, and may this writing prompt inspire you and inspire your story to get flowing, and may your characters either reveal their intentions or maybe intentionally hide them. I wish you all a lot of fun writing. Unless you say you're writing a romance, but you're going to attempt this prompt as well. Well, you can also take it figuratively and see if there is perhaps a mental cliff edge where she is at, or I don't know, something like that. You don't have to take it literally. I wish you a lot of fun. Well, hello Bettina, welcome in the writing sprint. You are just joining now. Your word count is 41,000 words and counting. That's great. You're hoping to keep your momentum and not stress about this draft. Your goal is to finish it and start the process over on a new project. Excellent, excellent. Well, unfortunately, this last sprint, this is the last sprint of today. It's 3.5 more minutes, but I might do some word sprints during or writing sessions during the weekend. Be sure to subscribe, because if you subscribe, then you will get notifications of the writing sprints. I will definitely do a live writing session coming Thursday, the last day of NaNoWriMo. I think I have it planned for 3 p.m. But I'll talk about it more later when the sprint has ended. Then I will also tell you why it's only why this is the last sprint. And that is the end of our last sprint of today. Again, Bettina, welcome. Oh, and thank you for subscribing. It's great that you did that. Bettina, like I said earlier, um, this is our last writing sprint of today. I will do more later on. Um, and like Melissa, or for you, I'm not sure about this, said 41,000 words is really impressive. Congratulations on reaching that goal. That means that you only have a little over 8,000 words to write. I'm very sure you can make it. I mean, that's impressive. It's incredible. Um, I have a lot more to write. I am currently at a little over 11,000 words, so you are so way ahead of me. But I'm lucky. My holiday has started, so yeah, I'm pretty confident that I will manage to write more. Um, Guys, I was thinking about doing another writing sprint tomorrow, or another writing session tomorrow at the same time. That's 3 p.m. For me, at 3 p.m. Amsterdam time. So let me know if you are all up to that. Let me see if I can post the link to time converter. So that you guys all know what time that is for you. Let's see, tomorrow is the 25th, and that will be 3 p.m. for me. Let's see, how can I share this? Can I share this link? Okay, I think I should be able to share this link if I'm correct. If I share this, you guys should be able to see it in your own time, zone. Okay, let me catch up on on chat. Like I said, I have other obligations tonight, so I need to cut the live stream short today. Unfortunately, I can't write on for hours, even though I just have a lot of inspiration to keep on going. But I really have some other obligations. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry. I really have some other obligations I need to go to tonight, so yeah, I cannot do another sprint. So you guys, oh, and I closed Criver. That's not handy. Now I don't know what I wrote anymore. Let me catch up with the chat. Bettina, you said you have a lot of shitty first drafts to write. That's excellent. First drafts are always so much fun. It's you just throw in all the events you want to happen in the first book. Like I always say, the first draft is just adding all the sand in the sandbox. Just keep on adding it, keep on emptying all those pockets of sand and all those sacks of sand, and throw it all in that sandbox. And in other drafts, you can build those huge, beautiful castles with all that sand, and make your story really awesome. The first draft can be ugly as hell. That doesn't matter. Okay, Melissa, you wrote 1,048 words, and the MC was on a literal cliff. Excellent, excellent. I'm glad that the writing prompt helped. Super fun prompt. Thank you very much. She compares this precipice to therapy. Okay, yeah. I can imagine where your character is coming from. Yeah, I can imagine that. And Melissa, you say, yes, Bettina, you've definitely got this. Exactly. and you're going to an American football game tomorrow, but you're available on Sunday. Well, I'm thinking I might do daily writing sprints, daily live writing sprints until the 1st of December. It all depends on how I feel, but since it's my holiday, I hope that I will feel good enough to do daily writing sprints at 3 p.m. Amsterdam time. Jess, your character had a staring off a cliff in a dream she's having. Oh, that's interesting as well. She has a lot of vision, so it was perfect. That's great to hear. And Melissa, this is the one that Dita made. You're not sure if you can see it or not because I'm not sure you can post it. That's right. You guys, you cannot post links in the chat. Let's see. I will look at it later time if I can somehow fix that for subscribers. I don't know. I'll have to see about that. Okay, let me see. Personal clock or something. What was it called? Let me see if I can find. Yeah, exactly. This one. That one. Here's the correct one. Okay, so that should show. Yeah. That was the wrong one. Yes, this link that I just posted shows several several time zones where you can find the time where I stream. Oh, this is the current time zone, yeah. And the one I posted was specifically for the Amsterdam for tomorrow for 3 p.m. Let's see. Just you say your character is about to get married but isn't 100% sure about it, so you guess staring up a cliff into a landscape of stormy seas feels kind of reflective. I can imagine that. And it's. I mean, is it also a bit? How shall I say that? I don't know. I can't find the words right now. Is it a forebode for the marriage, the stormy seas? It will be interesting to find out. And Jess, you would love another live stream tomorrow, same time. Excellent. And Melissa, yes, that's creative. Indeed, it is. Yeah, Jess is from the UK, and Melissa in the middle of USA. And Jess, you basically live next to a cliff, southeast England. So you guess it makes sense why you wrote this. Yes, it does. It does. You guys ask, Melissa, you ask what you guys are writing. Melissa, daily word sprints would be good for last push. You had to take all of the last week off because of our holiday. Any sprints are appreciated. Excellent. Okay, well, I really need to go. It's getting late for me. So tomorrow, 3 p.m. again, my time, Amsterdam time, 3 p.m. we will do another live writing session, and then I will just go on until I am too tired to write anymore. So I might go to 5 p.m. and I might go to, I don't know, 10 o'clock and 10 p.m. I have no idea. And you're welcome, both of you. Bettina, I hope you will join tomorrow as well. It would be so fun to see you join as well. It's all there's still so much we can do in this last week of NaNoWriMo, and I really hope that I can still make my goal of 50,000 K. Everybody, thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button below and the like button, and you will be notified of new writing sprints. And every week on Friday, I do the normal writing sprint sessions, where I also talk a bit about world building, and where we can talk about character development, story development, and everything like that. So, that's about it for today. I wish you all a lot of fun, and I'll see you tomorrow again. Melissa, you say if anyone is looking for more sprint right now, there are some on Twitch. Oh, excellent. Yeah, Twitch is also a good source. For me, it's too much to keep up with two streaming platforms. So for now, I'll keep it at YouTube. Melissa, you asked if I hit the 2K words. I think I did. I'm not quite sure because I already closed. I already closed Scrivener. I will let you know tomorrow if I hit the 3K words today. Thank you all for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.